When I was 365 years old, on the solemn day of the first month, I was alone in my house, grieving and weeping with my eyes. While I was resting in my bed sleeping, two men as great as any I had ever seen on earth appeared to me. Their faces were like sunshine, their eyes like burning lamps. From their mouths came forth fire, their clothes a plumage of feathers, and their arms like golden wings at my bedside. They called me by my name, Enoch, Enoch. They said, I arose from my sleep, and these men said to me, Be of good cheer, Enoch, be not afraid. The everlasting God hath sent us to thee, and today shalt ascend with us into heaven. It came to pass when I had spoken to my sons, these men summoned me and took me on their wings and placed me on the clouds. The clouds moved, and again higher I saw the air, and, going still, higher I saw the ether, and they placed me in the first heaven. While Enoch was walking with the one, Elohim, then he was not found, for Elohim took him away. And in the heavens, accompanied by the Elohim, they told Enoch about the secrets of life and death, and the moment when the angels fell. As the children of men multiplied on the earth, their daughters were born with striking beauty and grace. The angels, known as the children of heaven, looked upon these daughters with desire. Come, they said to one another, let us choose wives from among the children of men and beget children. Their leader, Semjaza, voiced his concern. I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. But the angels, resolute in their decision, answered him, Let us all swear an oath and bind ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. So they all swore together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. In total, there were 200 angels who descended in the days of Jared, alighting upon the summit of Mount Hermon. They called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. Among these fallen angels, the leaders included Samlazaz, Arakelba, Ramil, Kokablel, Tamlel, Ramlel, Danel, Ezekiel, Barakijal, Asael, Armaros, Badarel, Ananel, Zaklel, Samsapil, Satarel, Turel, Jomjael, and Sariel, each commanding a division of 10. These fallen angels took wives for themselves, each choosing one, and began to defile themselves with them. They taught their human wives charms, enchantments, and the cutting of roots, introducing them to the secrets of plants. The women became pregnant and bore giants, whose height reached 3,000 ells. These giants consumed all the resources of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against humanity and devoured them. The giants and fallen angels began to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish, even turning to devour one another's flesh and drink their blood. The earth, overwhelmed by the lawlessness, laid accusation against these transgressors. Azazel, one of the fallen angels, taught men to make swords, knives, shields, and breastplates. He revealed the secrets of the metals of the earth and the art of working them. He taught the crafting of bracelets, ornaments, the use of antimony, and the beautifying of eyelids, as well as all kinds of costly stones and coloring tinctures. As a result, godlessness increased, and they committed fornication, leading them astray and corrupting their ways. Semjaza instructed them in enchantments and root cuttings, while Armaros taught the resolving of enchantments. Barakihal shared the knowledge of astrology. Kokabel explained the constellations. Ezekiel revealed the secrets of the clouds. Arakiel the signs of the earth. Shamsiel the signs of the sun, and Sariel the course of the moon. As men perished, their cries rose up to the heavens, pleading for relief from the corruption and violence brought by the fallen angels. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw the bloodshed and lawlessness ravaging the earth. Their hearts grew heavy with sorrow and anger. They spoke to one another, "The earth, once a place of peace, now cries out with the voices of the afflicted, their cries reaching the gates of heaven." The holy ones of heaven were moved by the pleas of the souls of men, who implored, "Bring our cause before the Most High." The archangels addressed the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages. Your throne of glory stands for all generations. Your name is holy, glorious, and blessed unto all ages. You have created all things and hold power over all. Nothing is hidden from your sight. You see all things. You see what Azazel has done, teaching unrighteousness on earth and revealing the eternal secrets that were meant for heaven. Samlazaz, who was given authority to lead, has led his associates astray. They have gone to the daughters of men, slept with them, and defiled themselves. They have revealed all kinds of sins to them. The women have borne giants, and the earth is now filled with blood and unrighteousness. The souls of the dead cry out, making their pleas at the gates of heaven. Their lamentations ascend and do not cease because of the lawless deeds wrought on the earth. You, who know all things before they come to pass, have seen these events and allowed them. Yet you have not told us what we are to do to them. Then the Most High, the Holy and Great One spoke. He sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, saying, "Go to Noah and tell him in my name, hide thyself. Reveal to him that the end is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed by a deluge. Instruct him so that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all generations." The Lord then commanded Raphael, "Bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness. Make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudale, and cast him there. Place rough and jagged rocks over him, cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever. Cover his face, so that he may not see light. On the day of great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire. Heal the earth that the angels have corrupted. Proclaim the healing of the earth, so that all the children of men may not perish, because of the secret things the watchers have disclosed and taught their sons. The whole earth has been corrupted by the works taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin." To Gabriel the Lord said, "Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication. Destroy the children of the watchers from among men. Send them to fight each other in battle, so that they may destroy one another. They will not live long lives, and no request they make will be granted to their fathers on their behalf, for they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. The Lord then spoke to Michael, "Go, bind Samlazaz and his associates who have defiled themselves with women. When their sons have slain one another and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, until the day of their judgment. They shall be led off to the abyss of fire, to the torment and prison where they shall be confined forever. Whoever is condemned and destroyed will be bound with them to the end of all generations. Destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all evil from the face of the earth, and let every wicked work come to an end. Let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall be a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in joy forevermore. Then all the righteous shall escape and live until they beget thousands of children. They will complete their days in peace, living long lives filled with joy. The whole earth shall be tilled in righteousness and be filled with blessing. All desirable trees shall be planted, vines will yield abundant wine, and the seed sown will bear 1,000-fold. Each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. Cleanse the earth from all oppression, unrighteousness, sin, and godlessness. Destroy all uncleanness from the earth. All the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration and praise. The earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, sin, punishment, and torment. I will never again send upon it such afflictions from generation to generation and forevermore. In those days I will open the storehouses of blessing in heaven, pouring them down upon the earth. Truth and peace shall flourish throughout all the days of the world and through all generations. Before these things Enoch was hidden, and none of the children of men knew where he was or what had become of him. His activities involved the Watchers, and he spent his days with the holy ones. Enoch, blessing the Lord of Majesty and the King of the ages, was called by the Watchers. Enoch, scribe of righteousness, they said, go, declare to the Watchers of heaven who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women. Tell them, you have wrought great destruction on the earth, and you shall have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. As you delight in your children, you will witness their murder and destruction. You shall lament over their deaths and make supplications for eternity, but mercy and peace you shall not attain. Enoch went to Azazel and declared, Azazel, you shall have no peace. A severe sentence has been pronounced against you. You will be bound and receive no tolerance or request for forgiveness because of the unrighteousness you have taught and the godless deeds you have shown to men. Enoch then spoke to all the Watchers. Fear and trembling seized them, and they begged him to draw up a petition for their forgiveness and to present it to the Lord of heaven. They could no longer speak with him or lift their eyes to heaven, ashamed of their sins and the condemnation they faced. Enoch wrote their petition and prayer regarding their spirits and deeds, seeking forgiveness and length of days. He went to the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, south of the west of Hermon, where he read their petition until he fell asleep. In his sleep, a dream came to him. Visions of chastisement fell upon him, and a voice commanded him to tell it to the sons of heaven and reprimand them. When Enoch awoke, he found the Watchers gathered together, weeping in Abel's jail between Lebanon and Sennacer, their faces covered. He recounted all the visions he had seen in his sleep and began to speak words of righteousness, reprimanding the heavenly Watchers. The Book of the Words of Righteousness, a record of the reprimand to the eternal Watchers, was given according to the command of the Holy Great One, in a vision that Enoch saw in his sleep. Enoch, with the breath of his mouth and the tongue of flesh, spoke the words bestowed upon him by the Great One, given to men to converse and understand with the heart. As he has created and given to man the power of understanding the word of wisdom, so has he created me and given me the power to reprimand the Watchers, the children of heaven, Enoch began. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared that your plea will not be granted unto you throughout all the days of eternity. Judgment has been passed upon you, and your petition will not be granted. Henceforth you shall not ascend into heaven for all eternity. In the bonds of the earth, the decree has gone forth to bind you for all the days of the world. You shall witness the destruction of your beloved sons, and you shall find no pleasure in them. They shall fall before you by the sword. Your petition on their behalf shall not be granted, nor will your own, even though you weep and pray and speak all the words contained in the writing I have written. In my vision, clouds invited me, and a mist summoned me. The course of the stars and the lightnings hastened me, and the winds in the vision caused me to fly, lifting me upward and bearing me into heaven. I approached a wall built of crystals, surrounded by tongues of fire, and it began to affright me. I entered the tongues of fire and drew near to a large house built of crystals, with walls like a tessellated floor made of crystals, and its foundation of crystal. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars and lightnings, and between them were fiery cherubim, and their heaven was water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its portals blazed with fire. As I entered, the house was hot as fire and cold as ice. There were no delights of life within. Fear covered me, and trembling seized me. As I quaked and trembled, I fell upon my face. I beheld a vision of a second house, greater than the former, with an open portal before me, built of flames of fire. In every respect, it excelled in splendor and magnificence. Its floor was of fire, and above it were lightnings and the path of the stars, and its ceiling was flaming fire. I saw therein a lofty throne, its appearance like crystal, with wheels as the shining sun. And there was the vision of cherubim. From underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire, so intense that I could not look upon it. The great glory sat upon the throne, his raiment shining more brightly than the sun, whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter to behold his face due to the magnificence and glory. No flesh could endure his presence. The flaming fire encircled him, and a great fire stood before him. 10,000 times 10,000 were before him, yet he needed no counselor. The most holy ones who were near him did not leave by night, nor depart from him. As I lay prostrate, trembling, the Lord called me with his own mouth. "Come here, Enoch, and hear my word." One of the holy ones came to me, waking me, and made me rise up and approach the door. I bowed my face downward and heard his voice. "Fear not, Enoch, righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach and hear my voice. Go and say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, not men for you. Why have you left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, lain with women, defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, taken wives and begotten giants as your sons? Though you were holy, spiritual beings living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women and begotten with the blood of flesh. As children of men, you have lusted after flesh and blood like those who die and perish. Therefore, I have given them wives to impregnate and beget children by, so that nothing might be lacking for them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. Therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for the spiritual ones of heaven, heaven is their dwelling. Now the giants, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men and from the watchers, they shall be evil spirits on earth. The spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, causing trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, causing offenses. These spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. From the days of the slaughter, destruction, and death of the giants, their spirits shall destroy without incurring judgment until the day of consummation. The great judgment when the age shall be consummated, over the watchers and the godless, yes, shall be wholly consummated. As for the watchers who have sent you to intercede for them, who were once in heaven, tell them, you have been in heaven, but not all the mysteries were revealed to you. You knew worthless ones, and in the hardness of your hearts you have made them known to the women, causing much evil on earth. Therefore you shall have no peace. Enoch recounted the incredible journey the angels had taken him on, transporting him to a realm where those present resembled flaming fire, yet could appear as men at will. The angels led him to a place of profound darkness, to a mountain whose summit touched the heavens. In this mystical place, Enoch saw the locations of the luminaries, the treasuries of stars and thunder, and in the deepest depths, a fiery bow and arrows, a quiver, a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. They brought him to the living waters and the fire of the west, which receives the setting sun each day. He came upon a river of fire, its flames flowing like water, discharging into the great sea towards the west. Enoch saw the great rivers and ventured to the vast darkness, a place where no flesh walks. He saw the mountains shrouded in winter's darkness and the source from which all the deep waters flow. Enoch witnessed the mouths of all the rivers on earth and the mouth of the deep. He saw the treasuries of all the winds and how the Creator had furnished the whole creation with them, grounding the firm foundations of the earth. He observed the cornerstone of the earth and the four winds that support the firmament of heaven. He saw how these winds stretched out the vaults of heaven, their stations between heaven and earth, acting as the pillars of heaven. Enoch watched the winds of heaven turn, bringing the sun and stars to their settings. He saw the winds on earth carrying the clouds and the paths the angels tread. At the end of the earth, Enoch saw the firmament of heaven above. He proceeded to a place burning day and night, where 7 mountains of magnificent stones stood. 3 were towards the east and 3 towards the south. Of those towards the east, 1 was of colored stone, 1 of pearl, and 1 of jacinth, while those towards the south were of red stone. The middle mountain reached to heaven, resembling the throne of God, made of alabaster with a sapphire summit. Beyond these mountains, Enoch saw a flaming fire and a region marking the end of the great earth, where the heavens were complete. He saw a deep abyss, with columns of heavenly fire, where columns of fire fell, stretching beyond measure in height and depth. Beyond that abyss was a place without a firmament of heaven above or a firmly founded earth beneath. It was a desolate and horrible wasteland without water or birds. In this place, Enoch saw 7 stars like great burning mountains. Upon inquiring about them, the angel told him, "This is the end of heaven and earth, a prison for the stars and the host of heaven. These stars, which roll over the fire, are those that transgress the commandment of the Lord at the beginning of their rising, because they did not appear at their appointed times." In his wrath, he bound them until their guilt is consummated for 10,000 years. Uriel further explained, "Here shall stand the fallen angels who have connected themselves with women, their spirits assuming many forms to defile mankind, leading them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here they shall remain until the day of the great judgment, where they shall be judged until they meet their end. The women of the angels who went astray shall become sirens." Enoch alone saw this vision, witnessing the ends of all things, a sight no other man has seen. Enoch continued his journey with the holy angels who revealed the mysteries of the universe to him. He was introduced to the celestial guardians who watch over mankind. Enoch continued his journey with the holy angels, who revealed the mysteries of the universe to him. He was introduced to the celestial guardians who watch over mankind. "These are the names of the holy angels," Enoch began. "Uriel, who presides over the world and Tartarus. Raphael, who oversees the spirits of men. Raguel, who exacts vengeance on the world of the luminaries. Michael, who is set over the best part of mankind and over chaos. Sarachael, who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirit. Gabriel, who guards paradise, the serpents, and the cherubim. And Remiel, who is appointed over those who rise." Enoch was then taken to a place of chaos, devoid of a heaven above or a firmly founded earth below. It was a realm of disorder and horror. There he saw 7 stars of heaven bound together, burning like great mountains. Enoch asked, For what sin are they bound, and why have they been cast here?" Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was chief among them, responded, "Enoch, why do you seek the truth with such eagerness? These are the stars of heaven that transgressed the commandment of the Lord. They are bound here until 10,000 years. The time appointed for their sins is fulfilled." From there, Enoch was led to another place even more terrifying. He saw a great fire burning and blazing, the place cleft as far as the abyss, filled with great descending columns of fire. Its extent and magnitude were beyond measure. Enoch exclaimed, "How fearful is this place, and how terrible to behold!" Uriel reassured him, "This is the prison of the fallen angels, and here they will be imprisoned forever." Enoch then proceeded to another place, a mountain of hard rock. Within it were 4 hollow, deep, wide, and smooth places. Raphael explained, "These hollow places have been created for this very purpose, to gather the spirits of the souls of the dead until the day of their judgment. All the souls of the children of men assemble here. These places receive them until their appointed period, the great judgment." Enoch saw a dead man making suit, his voice ascending to heaven. He asked Raphael, "Whose spirit is this, making suit to heaven?" Raphael answered, "This is the spirit of Abel, whom his brother Cain slew. He makes his suit against Cain until his seed is destroyed from the earth." Enoch inquired about the separation of the hollow places. Raphael explained, "These divisions are for the spirits of the dead, one for the righteous with a bright spring of water, one for sinners who die without judgment in their lifetime, where their spirits are in great pain until the day of judgment, and one for those who make their suit, disclosing their destruction when slain in the days of sinners. Another is for the spirits of those who were not righteous, but were sinners and transgressors. Their spirits shall not be slain on the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from there." Enoch blessed the Lord of glory, saying, "Blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who rules forever." He then journeyed to the west of the ends of the earth, where he saw a burning fire running without rest, day and night. Enoch asked, "What is this fire that never rests?" Rigel, one of the holy angels, explained, "This is the fire in the west that persecutes all the luminaries of heaven." Enoch continued to another part of the earth, where he saw a mountain range of fire burning day and night. Beyond it, he saw 7 magnificent mountains, each unique and beautiful, with glorious stones. The 7th mountain, in the midst of them, was the highest, resembling the seat of a throne, encircled by fragrant trees. Among these trees was one unlike any other, with a fragrance surpassing all. Its leaves, blooms, and wood never wither, and its fruit is beautiful, resembling the dates of a palm. Enoch marveled, "How beautiful is this tree, its fragrance and its delightful appearance." Michael, one of the honored angels, responded, "This high mountain, whose summit is like the throne of God, is where the Holy Great One, the Lord of Glory, the Eternal King, will sit when he comes down to visit the earth with goodness. As for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it until the great judgment, when it shall be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit will be food for the elect, and it shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the Eternal King. They shall rejoice with joy and be glad, and enter into the holy place. Its fragrance shall be in their bones, and they shall live long lives on earth, free from sorrow, plague, torment, or calamity." Michael continued. Enoch blessed the God of glory, the Eternal King, who had prepared such things for the righteous and promised them. He then went to the middle of the earth, to a blessed place with blooming trees. He saw a holy mountain with a stream flowing towards the south. Another higher mountain stood to the east, with a deep, narrow ravine between them. Enoch marveled at the sight. Uriel explained, "This accursed valley is for those accursed forever. Here shall all who utter unseemly words against the Lord and his glory be gathered for judgment. The righteous shall bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King, for the mercy he has shown them." Enoch continued to bless the Lord of glory, proclaiming his greatness. He then journeyed to a wilderness in the east, full of aromatic trees exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, resembling almond trees. Beyond these, he found a valley of water with fragrant trees like the mastic, cinnamon on its sides, and proceeded further east. Enoch encountered more mountains with groves of trees flowing with nectar named Sarara and Galbanum. Another mountain, east of the ends of the earth, bore aloe trees with stacte, smelling sweeter than any fragrance when burnt. He saw 7 mountains full of choice nard, cinnamon, and pepper to the north. Passing over the summits, Enoch reached the Garden of Righteousness, with numerous beautiful and glorious trees, including the Tree of Knowledge. Its fruit brought great wisdom. Raphael explained, "This is the tree of wisdom, from which your forebears learned wisdom, opened their eyes, knew they were naked, and were driven out of the garden." Enoch continued to the ends of the earth, where great beasts and birds, differing in appearance and voice, dwelled. He saw the portals of heaven, noting their number, outlets, courses, positions, times, and months as shown by Uriel. Enoch traveled further to the north, seeing a great and glorious device at the ends of the earth, with 3 open portals of heaven. Through them, north winds brought cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. He observed similar portals in the west and south, each with their purpose. Returning to the east, he saw 3 eastern portals of heaven, with small portals above them through which the stars pass on their course. Enoch blessed the Lord of glory for the great and glorious wonders shown to him, praising his work and creation forever. Enoch spoke his words of blessing to the elect and righteous, those destined to live through the days of tribulation, when the wicked and godless will be removed. I saw a vision of the Holy One in the heavens, revealed to me by the angels. From them I heard everything and gained understanding, not for this generation, but for a future one yet to come. Enoch spoke his words of blessing to the elect and righteous, those destined to live through the days of tribulation, when the wicked and godless will be removed. Enoch was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God. Concerning the elect, Enoch continued his parable. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling. The eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and will appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. All shall be struck with fear, and the watchers shall quake. Great fear and trembling will seize them unto the ends of the earth. The high mountains shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be made low. They shall melt like wax before the flame. The earth shall be wholly rent asunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish. There shall be judgment upon all, but with the righteous he will make peace. He will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them. They shall all belong to God, be prosperous and be blessed. He will help them all, and light shall appear unto them. He will make peace with them. And behold, he comes with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness which they have ungodly committed, and of all the harsh things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Enoch spoke with authority, urging his listeners to observe the wonders of the heavens and the earth, and to understand the immutable order set by God. Look to the heavens, he said, and observe how the celestial bodies do not change their orbits. The luminaries rise and set in their appointed times, never straying from their paths. Behold the steadfastness of the earth, how from the beginning to the end all things remain unchanged, demonstrating the works of God. See how the earth is filled with water, how the clouds, dew, and rain nourish it through summer and winter. In winter, observe how all trees appear to wither and shed their leaves, except for 14 trees that retain their foliage for 2 to 3 years until new leaves come. Again, in the days of summer, see how the sun stands high above the earth, making you seek shade and shelter from its heat, causing the earth and rocks to burn with growing warmth. Notice how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. Pay attention and understand all his works, and recognize that he who lives forever has made them so. All his works continue from year to year, and the tasks they perform for him do not change, but proceed as God has ordained. Behold how the seas and rivers also follow his commands, never deviating from their tasks. Yet you have not remained steadfast, nor have you kept the commandments of the Lord. Instead, you have turned away, speaking proud and harsh words against his greatness with impure mouths. O hard-hearted ones, you shall find no peace. Therefore, you shall curse your days, and the years of your life shall perish. The years of your destruction shall multiply in eternal abomination, and you shall find no mercy. In those days, your names shall become an eternal curse among all the righteous, and all who curse will curse by you. All sinners and godless shall use your name to imprecate, and for the godless there shall be a curse. But the righteous shall rejoice, for there shall be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy, peace, and forbearance. Salvation shall come to them, a goodly light. For all sinners there shall be no salvation, but upon them shall abide the curse of the beast. For the elect there shall be light, joy, and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. Wisdom shall be bestowed upon the elect, and they shall live without sin, whether through ungodliness or pride. The wise shall be humble, and they shall not transgress nor sin all the days of their life. They shall not die of anger or wrath, but shall complete the number of their days in peace. Their lives shall be increased in peace, and the years of their joy shall multiply in eternal gladness and peace all the days of their life. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends and family who might be interested in the topic. See you in the next video.